Well, 10 years ago, I was coaching a group of 8th grade boys in football, and they had gone undefeated that season, and they were getting ready for their championship Super Bowl game that was that Saturday. It was a Tuesday before that game, and I went to my Rotary Club, and I heard a story from the food bank about the senior brown bag program. There was a story of an elderly woman who had called into the food bank to see if her delivery was coming that day. When the lady said, "No ma'am, we'll be there tomorrow," she said, "Okay," and hung up the phone. The director had heard that conversation and said, "Did you ask her if she has enough for today?" Not thinking that she wouldn't have enough food for today, she said no. And so the director had called that woman up and said, "Ma'am, do you have enough for today?" And she said, "Well, I have a can of cat food and 2 tortillas. I'll be okay." She got her address and promptly went to her house and filled up her cupboards with food. That sparked something in me because my mom, who is a widow, could have been in that situation. That night at football practice, I told my team, "This is what happened in our community. What do you want to do about it?" And all the boys said, "Coach, let's have a food drive." Well, in just 2 days' time, we raised 1,000 pounds of food to donate to the senior citizens of Merced. And we decided to do it again for another game that we're having for the All-Star game. And we raised another 1,000 pounds of food. And we ended up having a party called the Grateful Hearts Party, where your entry was 2 bags of groceries to donate to get into the event. And from there, it sparked what we're doing today. 10 years of excellent community support for a very worthy cause. Merced is a very generous community. When called upon, all my friends in the business community said they would help out. And so we got sponsorships, and that's how we started the fundraiser. Because my friends at the food bank had taught me, it's great that you're donating food, but we can take that money and multiply it 10 to 20 times and buy much more food because we buy in bulk. So during 2020 and 2021, we had the pandemic. Obviously, we weren't being able to get together in large gatherings. The need was still there. These senior citizens were the ones most affected by the pandemic. It was a remarkable experience because during that time we were concerned, were we going to be able to have an event? Well, we decided to have a virtual event, and it was just so well received by the community. Relentless support for those in need. Together with our partners from the United Way, Rob Hypes and Janet Casper, and our partners at Better Homes and Gardens, Terry Rusco, Brandon Rusco, Jared Rusco, and their whole team, we were able to deliver to seniors that were shut in their much needed supplies and food. And for most of those seniors, it was very important because that was their only contact with humanity, was getting their deliveries. And as the story goes, Terry was sometimes stuck at people's houses sharing time with those who really needed it. Many times our senior citizens are a population of people overlooked. We think that, well, they've got what they need, they've worked, but what we don't realize is they don't have the opportunity to bring in more income. They're on a fixed income. And so they're the most vulnerable, along with children who can't fend for themselves. And so that's what this program's all about, is reaching out and giving back as a community to help those who need it most. As I get older each year, I'm that much closer to being a senior citizen myself. And for those of you that are in your 60s, in 10 years from now, you might be the ones benefiting from this program. So, is it important to continue to give? Of course, because the need's always going to be there. We need to take care of our seniors.